Hey guys, welcome back to No Catch Your Name. It's me, Ella. Today we're going to make this cute no-sew mouse. It's so cute. Anyways, let's grab our craft supplies and head over to the craft table and get started. So for today's tutorial, you'll need some yarn in your mouse color. I'm using some burlap blanket in gray. You'll need some nose color and feet and tail color. It can be pink or brown or whichever color you want to use. If you're embroidering your eyes, you'll need some yarn scraps to embroider the eyes on. You could also use safety eyes, and I'll talk about that when we get to that point. You'll need a hook that goes with your yarn choice. I'm using a 6mm hook today with my burlap blanket. You'll need some scissors, a stitch marker, and a yarn needle, and safety eyes if you're using safety eyes, and polyfill. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, we're going to start with the ears so that we can crochet them in when we get to that part of the pattern. We're going to start with a magic ring. I make like an X on my finger with the yarn. You go under the first yarn and you go over the second one. You pull it through, and when you pull it through, you twist it up and then chain one to secure it. And then we're going to put 6 single crochets into the ring. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pull your ring. Now for the second round of the ear, we're going to be crocheting in all 6 of these, and then we're going to keep continuing. It's not really going to be a round 2, round 3 type thing. It's just we're going to use these 6 stitches and then go back around in some of the stitches we already made, just to shape the ear. So first we're going to do a single crochet. In the next stitch we're going to increase, which is where you put 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So 1, 2. We're going to do that 2 more times. So in the next stitch we're going to increase 1, 2, and then 1 more increase. 1, 2, and then we're going to do a double crochet increase in the next 3 stitches. So for double crochet, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, so that's 1, yarn over, insert in the same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1 double crochet increase. We're going to do 2 more of those. So there's 1. Oops. 1 more double crochet increase. And then we're going to single crochet the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a slip stitch in the next stitch and fasten off. So that is our first ear. We'll deal with these tails once we crochet it onto the body. So now we're going to repeat that same thing for the second ear and then move on. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the mouse's body. We're going to start with the nose. So pull out your nose color. We're going to do another magic ring. If you need another refresher, I make like an X. Do you see the X there? And then I go under the first yarn, over the second one, pull the second one through and twist it up, and then do a chain 1. Now in this magic ring we're going to put 4 single crochets, but we're not going to finish off the 4th one. Let's do 1, 2, 3, and stop right there. We're going to attach our mouse body color. So we'll finish that last single crochet with our body color. And then we'll pull our ring closed. In a minute we'll knot those colors up. Okay, so for round 1, we're going to, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to put a single crochet in our first stitch. And we're going to grab our stitch marker. If I can get it untangled. Put it in there. Okay, so we did 1 single crochet, so now in the next stitch we're going to increase. So we're going to put 2 single crochets in that 1 stitch. And then in the next stitch we're going to do 1 single crochet. And then in the last stitch we're going to increase. 1, 2. Okay, right here is where I like to stop and tie these ends off, just so they're a little bit more secure. I don't have to worry about them coming out. And then I'm going to push the nose out. So there's a little nose. And once I make the nose a little bit deeper, I will stuff these ends down in it. They're kind of in the way for now, but we'll get rid of them in a minute. Alright, so for round 2, we're going to increase in every stitch around. So we're going to be going from 6 stitches to 12. So let's do an increase in the first stitch. Put our stitch marker in that first stitch we made. And then we're going to increase all the way around for a total of 12 stitches. So there's 1 increase. Another increase. Another increase. Another increase. And 1 more increase. So at the end of round 2, you'll have 12 stitches. For round 3, we're going to single crochet 3. So there's 1. Let's put our stitch marker back. 2, 3. Got a little fuzz there. Now in the next 6 stitches, we're going to do an increase. So here's 1 increase. 2 increase. 3 increase, 4 increase, 5, and 6, and then the last 3 we're going to single crochet. 1, 2, 3. So at the end of round 3 you'll have 18 stitches together. For round 4 we're going to single crochet 3. So here's 1, put our stitch marker back, oops, 2, 3, I'm going to take a minute just to kind of stuff those yarn tails in the tip of the nose. Okay, so we did 3, so now we're going to do a repeat. We're going to do 1 single crochet, 1 increase, 1 single crochet, 1 increase. We're going to do that 6 times. So we're going to do single, increase, single, increase, single, increase, single, increase, single, increase, and then one more time, single, increase, and then we'll have 3 stitches left. 1, 2, 3. Single crochet 1 in each of those. Now this is doing the head shape where we're going to put the eyes. And let's continue on to round, what round are we on? 5. So round 4 you'll have 24 stitches. Round 5 is an easy one. You just put 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around. Get my stitch marker. So we're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around for a total of 24 stitches. Okay, so now for round 6 is the round we're going to be adding the ears. So we got the ears, we got our mouse. So for the first few stitches, for 9 stitches, we're going to single crochet. So there's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so now we're going to add the first ear. So where you tied off is the slip stitch, and then there's 3 single crochets before the slip stitch. Those are the 3 that we're going to use to attach the ear. And this part might be a little hard for some people. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the ear down on the head, because we want to work from this side of the stitches, so that once the ear's up, it's on the, you know, up on the outside of the body. So right here's our slip stitch. So we're going to go into this first single crochet of the ear, and we're going to go into the next single crochet of the body, and we're going to do a single crochet. So that's 1. We're going to go on the next single crochet on the ear, and the next single crochet on the body, 2, and then we're going to do it one more time. So the next single crochet of the ear and the next single crochet of the body, 3. So now this ear is attached by 3 single crochets. We'll leave our ends for now because we're going to use those to help pin the ear down. So now we're going to single crochet 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to grab our second ear and do that same thing. So where your yarn tail is tied off at is your slip stitch, and the 3 single crochets before that are the ones we're going to use to attach to the head. So we're going to put the ear again down on the head. Let me get this yarn tail out of the way. So right here's our slip stitch, right here's our first single crochet. So we're going to go into that single crochet and then into the next stitch on the head and do a single crochet. Then we're going to do that to the second one. Go in the second single crochet and then the next stitch on the head. And then we're going to the third single crochet on the ear and the next one on the head. And single crochet. Okay, so both ears are attached now. And then after that, there should be 6 stitches left. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's look at it real quick. So this is what we're looking like. We will deal with these tails on the ears and after a few more rounds, so we have something to kind of sew down in. But here's your mouse head so far. Looking pretty cute. Alright, so that was the round 6. We still have 24 stitches at the end of that round. So for round 7, it's a decrease round. We're going to start by doing 2 single crochets. So there's 1, 2. I'm going to put my stitch marker in the first stitch that I made there. And now we're going to do a decrease. So we're going to go in the next single crochet, yarn over, pull through. Then we're going to go directly into the next single crochet, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So that was taking 2 stitches and making them into 1. So now we're going to do 2 single crochets, 1, 2, and then we're going to do another decrease. So we're going to go in the first stitch, yarn over and pull through. We're going to go into the second stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and go through all 3 loops. So we're going to repeat that all the way around. It's a total of 6 times, and at the end of round 7 you'll have 18 stitches. Okay, we just finished round 7, so we have 18 stitches. Now we're going to deal with our ends for our ears. This is also a good time to put in your safety eyes if you're using them. I'm going to be embroidering eyes today, but if you're going to use safety eyes, you can use the ears and the nose to know where to place them. I would probably put them right here. I use like a triangle method. I've talked about this in a lot of my videos. I do a triangle with the ears and the nose, and then in the middle of the triangle from the ear to the nose is where I put the eyes, just so it's symmetrical. So in this particular mouse, I would put them like right here, which you'll see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would be in between rows 4 and 5, and probably 4 or 5 stitches apart right here. But like I said, I am going to embroider mine. So let's deal with these yarn tails real quick. So first, the front yarn tail, which is where your slip stitch is, we're going to put it on our needle, and we're just going to kind of go straight down. I try to get it into the ear a little bit just so it doesn't leave a line, but we're just going to go straight down into the head. We're going to do that with both of them. Okay, so those ones are in the head. Now the ones on the back of the magic ring, first you want to make sure your magic ring is good and secure. And then the way I do them is I try to go through as much of the ear as I can, just picking up a little bit of the yarn, just so there's not like a straight line down like that. So you want to kind of hide the yarn as you stick it down into the head. And I wouldn't pull this one extremely tight, because if you pull it too tight, it's going to affect the way the ear lays. So there it is. Instead of just a straight line down, it's kind of hidden. Do the same thing with the other ear. Make sure your ring is tight. And we're just going to kind of go through some of the yarn on the way down so that it's a little bit hidden. Whoops, I hit the tripod. And then on the inside, we're going to take our ear ends and knot them together a few times, just so that they're more secure. But don't knot them super tight, because then, like I said, it will affect the way the ear stands up. So we're just going to knot them together. You can do your safety eyes now. And if you want to, you can go ahead and stuff the nose. I do typically use all these yarn tails in here to stuff the nose, the tip of the nose. And then I'll add fiber fill in a little bit. But here we are on the head so far. It's looking pretty cute, pretty mousy. So now we're going to move on. We're going to go on to row 8. It is an increase round. So we are going to do a repeat. So we're going to do 1 single crochet. Put our stitch marker back. And then we're going to do an increase. Then a single crochet. And then another increase. And we're going to repeat that around 9 times. At the end of round 8, you'll have 27 stitches. So for round 9, we're just going to do 1 single crochet all the way around. So it's really easy. At the end of round 9, you'll have 27 stitches still. So just 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around. Okay, so for round 10, we're going to start adding the feet. So we're going to do 1 single crochet. But we're not going to finish it. If you're going to use a contrasting color for the feet, attach that at the end of the single crochet. If you're not, then you can just continue normally. So I'm going to add pink. So this is our first stitch right here. And now we're going to make the foot, which I always make my feet 4 triple crochet bobbles. So it's a lot of yarning over. So we're going to yarn over twice. We're going to go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1. We're going to do that 3 more times. Yarn over twice, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. 1 more time. Yarn over twice, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then to finish the foot, we're going to bring up the body color. We're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops. So now in between the 2 front feet, we're going to do 3 single crochets. So we're going to do 1, push out our foot there, 1, 2, and on the 3rd one, we're going to not finish it. We're going to pick back up our foot color. And then we're going to do the exact same thing as we did over here. So we're going to yarn over twice, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we're going to do it one more time. Yarn over twice, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You'll have 5 loops, so we're going to pick up our body color, and we're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 loops. Okay, so that's the first 2 feet. You can cut your foot color here, or you can leave it. I think just for the sake of not getting tangled up right now, I'm going to go ahead and cut it, and I'll reattach it later. But you can leave it if you're just sitting there crocheting without a camera in your face. Okay, so after that second foot, we're going to crochet the rest of the stitches, and it should be 21. So crochet 21 all the way around to the stitch marker, and I'll see you back at round 11. Now for rows 11, 12, and 13, we're going to be crocheting all the way around in every stitch. And then the top of the feet, through here. So here's 1. You might have to fold the foot down. This part right here is 1 stitch. That's the top of the bobble. And then right past the bubble is another stitch. Make sure you get those. If you're not sure when you get to the end, make sure you got 27 stitches. So we're going to do 11, 12, and 13. So it's 3 rows of just single crocheting all the way around. And I will meet you back at round 14. Okay, I just did rows 11, 12, and 13 of solid crochet. So now we're on to round 14, which is the second foot round. I will tell you where to put the baubles. However, if they're off center from the front ones, you can adjust that as you need it to. As long as you have the right amount of stitches at the end of the round, that's all that matters. So if you have to move your baubles, do it. Don't worry about that. So we're going to do 2 single crochets first. So there's 1, 2. Let me put my stitch marker back. And before you finish the second single crochet, you're going to add your foot collar back on. If you cut it off. If you didn't, you just pull it back up. So now we're going to do a bubble just like we did earlier. So we're going to yarn over twice, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, insert, yarn over, pull through 2, oh, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. One more time, yarn over twice, insert, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then pick up your body color, yarn over, and go through all 5. Now, in between the 2 feet, we have 3 single crochets. So here's 1, pop that foot out, 1, 2, and on the third one, finish it with your foot color. Now we're going to make our last bubble. Yarn over twice, insert the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. The last one, yarn over twice, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we're going to yarn over with our body color and pull through all 5. Now you can also, like I said, you can detach this now, or you can leave it attached to use to make the tail, but I'm gonna, for the sake of the video, I'm gonna detach it so it's easier for me to record without all the yarn getting in my way. So now for the rest of round 14, we're gonna single crochet all the way around, so it should be 20 more stitches. At the end of round 14, you should have 27 stitches. Even if you had to move your baubles around a little bit, there should still be 27 stitches. Okay, before we move on to round 15, I'm going to take this time to stuff the head before the body starts getting smaller. So go ahead and stuff your head however you like to do it. The nose should already be kind of stuffed with your yarn tails if you did that. But just make sure the head is stuffed to your liking, because we're going to start decreasing and it'll be harder to stuff the head once we start decreasing. Alright, so for round 15, it's a decrease round. The next 3 rounds are decrease rounds, actually. So for 15, we're going to do 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, all the way around. Let me show you how to do it with the bubbles in the way. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, put our stitch marker back. Okay, so now we're going to do our first decrease of this round. Fold our foot down. So we're going to go into this second stitch here. That is a body color. I get my hook to work with me. And then we're going to go into this pink stitch. This is the top of the bubble. It counts as a stitch. So that's our decrease. And then we're going to go into this stitch right after the bubble. That's our next single crochet. And then these 2 are the decreased single crochets. And then the top of the bubble is 1. And then the decrease. So now we're going to repeat that all the way around. At the end of round 15, you'll have 18 stitches. Alright, so now I'm going to stop and go ahead and stuff my mouse as much as I can right now. Just because the next 2 rounds will be making it a lot harder. So stuff your mouse however you want to. use that. Doesn't really require a lot of stuffing, especially if you're using not blanket yarn, because your mouse will be smaller. But just stuff it. Your favorite method of stuffing. Okay, I think that's enough for now. I'm gonna go ahead and decrease some more, and then I'll stuff some more. So for round 16, we're gonna repeat round 15. We're gonna do 1 single crochet, 1 decrease all the way around for a total of 12 stitches at the end of it. So you're just gonna do the same thing as round 15. 1 single crochet, 1 decrease all the way around. Okay, for the last round of the body, before we get to the tail, we're just gonna do 6 decreases. It's a little hard for me to do now that the mouse is stuffed. Okay, I zoomed out a little bit. I moved my stuff around. So these last bits are always hard for me. So we're going to do 6 decreases. In the last decrease, we're going to finish off with our tail colors. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the last one, we're going to finish off with our tail color. And then you can finally snip off the body color. And I'm going to go ahead and tie these 2 ends together. This is also a good place to stop and finish your last bit of stuffing before we do the tail. Okay, so for the first round of the tail, it's also round 18 of the body. Ugh, angles are hard when it gets this way. Okay, we're going to do 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, 1 single crochet, and 1 decrease. That is for a total, if I can get that decrease, there we go. Well, that is for a total of 4 stitches in the round. It's hard to see. There's 4 stitches. And now we're going to be doing rows 19 through 28 of just single crocheting the 4 stitches. If single crocheting in the round for 4 stitches that much hurts your hands, because I know it does some people, and it also hurts my hands a little bit. On round 18, instead of doing decreases, you could leave it at 6 stitches, and then it's a little bit bigger all the way around. Or you could just close up with the gray. You can attach your pink and chain up, and then just single crochet back down and make a tail that way. But now for rounds 19 through 28, we're going to single crochet 4 all the way around to make a tube for the tail. Okay, so I just did rounds 19 through 28 of solid single crochet. It does hurt your hands if you're not used to doing that. So now I cut off my yarn, and I'm just going to sew shut the end here just a few times. And then I'm going to bring my tail, my yarn tail, my tail's tail, through the tail, back down to the body, so that I can deal with it later. I'm just going to kind of stick it right there. Boop. And then if that happens to your tail, you can just pull it and it'll straighten out. So this tail I will weave in when I do the eyes, which is what I'm going to do next. Okay, my son came in the house with his friends, so I hope that that's not too loud back there. Anyways, eyes. So we're going to embroider the eyes here. There's fuzzes everywhere. So I just got me some black blanket yarn. And I'm just going to stick it in down here. And I'm going to go up to where I think the eyes should be in my triangle of eyes, which I've talked about a million times. And I'm going to come out. Leave a tail down here to deal with, to weave in. And then however big you want your eyes. I kind of like making mine fairly big. So I'm going to go up like a couple of stitches and go in, and then I'm going to come right back out where I came out already. And there's where I'm going to build up my eye. So now I'm going to go in and out of that same spot a few times until the eye is the shape and size that I want it to be. I hope those kids aren't being too loud. It's real life though, sorry about that. And just keep going until the eye is the shape that you would like it to be. I think that's pretty good. So now I'm going to go over to the other side and work on my second eye. Trying to get the ears stuck in there. Let's get that eye. There we go. I think that's good. Alright, let's see, is that a good spot? Yeah, see, that's too high up, so I gotta go a little bit lower. That may not be a good spot either. Sometimes it takes me a minute. I'm not an expert. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So again, we're gonna try to make it, you know, about the same shape and size. The good thing about embroidering your eyes is if you mess it up, you can just pick it out and redo it. So it's okay. If they look a little wonky, you just pick it out and start over. Try not to get the ears in there. Alright, I think that's fairly good. Then I'm going to take my yarn and I'm going to try to bring it back out where I started, so that I can tie it off. Gonna tie it in a knot and then we'll pull it back in the body in just a minute. So now we're gonna move on to the whites of the eye. So I got me some white here. Do the same thing. This is actually like a cream color. This time I'm gonna go in right here so that I can tie it off with this pink yarn, so that I can deal with that end too. Okay, so now I got it up to the head. Now I'm gonna go down to the base of one of the eyes. If I can get my needle to come out. Whoop, right there. Buzz. And I'm going to go up the side of the eye like this. I'm going the top of the eye. And I'm going to come out at the bottom of the second eye. And then I'm going to go over here. Go into the top of the eye and out the top of the head. Sorry, little mouse. This one yarn is a loops and threads yarn, so it sheds a lot. That's why I'm using it for eyeballs. And then I'm going to take this yarn and come out here. Knot these together. Oh, they're pretty small. Okay. Trim that one. And then I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to go in the body. Come out where these tails are at. Hook them and pull them through. Is that a loose fuzz? Yeah. If it's still poking out, just kind of shove it in there. And then down here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go in the body. Grab the black tails. Hook them through. Alright. And that is our finished mouse. Look at him. He's so cute. He's covered in fuzzes. That's okay. So that is our mouse. I hope you guys like this tutorial. If you have any questions or comments, let me know and I will try to help you as much as I can. I'm sorry for the background noise there at the end. I have kids and they have friends, so it makes noise. But it's so cute. Cute no-sew. Good for market makes. And these have actually been really popular for me at my markets. People seem to like rodents, which is cool. And you can make them in a myriad of colors because the mice come in all kinds of colors. And yeah. Anyways, if you like it, let me know. If you'd like to see more tutorials soon, let me know also. Share it if you think someone else will like it, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye guys.